In a meeting at Malacañang, Timor-Leste President Jose Ramos-Horta invited President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to visit their country. Meanwhile, President Bongbong Marcos expressed gratitude for the Timor-Leste leader for supporting the Philippines' stance on the West Philippine Sea. Let's find out more about this meeting with Mayk Dennis Oliveira live. Mike, good evening.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. led the arrival honors for Timor-Leste President Jose Ramos-Horta at the Kalayaan grounds of Malacañang on Friday morning, followed by a guestbook signing. The two leaders then held a bilateral meeting with their respective delegations in the state dining room at Malacañang. During the meeting, Timor-Leste President Jose Ramos-Horta extended an invitation to President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to visit his country. PBBM, for his part, expressed gratitude for the invitation and expressed interest in further expanding the ties between Timor-Leste and Philippines.
I hope that these exchanges will be, this visit of yours will be the beginning of more exchanges between our two countries. And I thank you for the very gracious invitation that you have just extended to me to visit your country. And we would certainly want to do that.
President Marcos also voiced the Philippines' support for Timor-Leste's journey to independence and its active participation in international relations and events. He also emphasized the need to work together to maintain peace and stability in the region, especially in challenging times. PBBM also pledged to strengthen and further expand the 21-year diplomatic relations between the Philippines and the Timor-Leste, and hopes that President Ramos-Horta's visit to the Philippines would be a crucial beginning to deepen the relations between the two nations. President Ramos-Horta, in turn, expressed his heartfelt gratitude to President Marcos and the Philippine government for the warm reception extended to him and his delegation.
For me, it's a great honor, a pleasure to be in Manila among many friends. And I wish to express my sincere, deepest gratitude for the warm hospitality extended to me and the delegation.
President Ramos-Horta also thanked the Philippines for being one of the first countries to support their efforts to become a full member of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN. To recall, Timor-Leste joined the 42nd ASEAN Summit in Indonesia in May as an observer, where President Marcos reiterated the Philippines' continuous support for its path to full membership. Timor-Leste is ranked 171st as the Philippines' trading partner, with a total trade value at $164,000. It is the 158th export market and the 194th import supplier for the Philippines. Following the bilateral meeting, the two leaders held a joint press conference at the President's Hall in Malacañang. During the conference, the Philippines and Timor-Leste announced the collaboration on civilian commercial aviation, a social security agreement for professionals, and educational cooperation between their higher learning institutions. PBBM said they agreed to reconvene policy consultations to be held by Timor-Leste in the future. Both countries also explored the possibility of direct flights between Manila and Dili through an air services agreement. Also, both agreed to establish a bilateral social security agreement to provide a safety net for Filipino and Timor-Leste professionals and enhance educational cooperation and student exchanges.
In addition, as one of the democracies in Southeast Asia, the Philippines also committed to assist Timor-Leste in the skills formation of the Timorese people.
President Ramos-Horta expressed his admiration for the peace, stability, and confidence of investors in the Philippine government, as well as the excellent economic growth in the Philippines.
Very impressed with the situation today of peace, of stability. Investors trust, confidence in the Philippines, great economic growth in a world situation that is not very conducive to economic growth.
So far, there are 11 signed agreements between the Philippines and Timor-Leste in various cooperation areas such as economic and technical, higher education, military, and more. Diplomatic relations between the two countries were formally established on May 20, 2002. Meanwhile, PBBM thanked President Ramos-Horta for expressing support for the Philippines' stance in the West Philippine Sea. PBBM also mentioned that they discussed the challenges facing the Philippines and presented some suggestions, particularly on continuing to adhere to a system based on rules and international law.
That is with gratitude that we also have received the expressions of support from the President for the Philippines in terms of the rules, our adherence to a rules-based international law, to UNCLOS.
In a toast remark during the state banquet at Malacañang, President Marcos Jr. reaffirmed the Philippines' commitment to support Timor-Leste's development through South-South cooperation. The President also mentioned the Buenos Aires Plan of Action for the promotion and implementation of technical cooperation in developing countries among the 138 member states of the United Nations.
Allow me, therefore, to reaffirm the Philippines' unwavering commitment to supporting Timor-Leste's nation building and development, including through capacity building activities within the context of South-South cooperation.
Fred, PBBM summarized the meeting as productive and fruitful and emphasized the importance of the discussions with President Ramos-Horta. The letters state visit to the Philippines spans 4 days from November 8 to November 11 of this year. Back to you, Fred.
Thank you. That's Mayk Dennis Oliveira live on SMNI Studios.